Does hypnosis, or more specifically, Rapid Transformational Therapy, known as RTT, do these forms of therapy help with weight loss? Well, in this video, I am going to address not only what hypnosis is and what RTT is and how they are different and how they can help anyone get rid of a bad habit that they don't like or something in their life that is not working for them, such as their weight. So let's begin first by talking about what hypnosis is. Hypnosis allows a person to gain access to their unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is where, or also known as the subconscious. In the subconscious, that is where all of our automatic habits come from. And so if we have a habit that is not working for us and we want to change it, when we try to do it at a conscious level, when we're thinking, it's very, very challenging and the brain is very resistant to change. But when you dive into the subconscious, which can really only be done through hypnosis, the brain is very receptive to making changes. And that really is truly the only way to change the brain at a cellular level. And so there are two different ways of going about doing this: traditional hypnosis and rapid transformational therapy, also known as RTT. And that includes a component of hypnosis, but it also has so much more to it. So let me explain the difference between those two. So hypnosis is when a person is taken into hypnosis or into a state of sleep or rest where they access their alpha brain waves, and it is done, usually it takes anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes to get a person into hypnosis and to that state where they are relaxed and they are receptive. In hypnosis, they also do what are called convincers. And what that means is that for a person to be open to these kinds of changes, their brain has to think that something is working, that the hypnosis is actually going to make a change. So in hypnosis, the practitioner will do what are called convincers, and that is convincing the person or showing them that changes are actually happening. And then the next step is for the person who is receiving the hypnosis to get suggestions. And suggestions are the recommendations of new beliefs and thought patterns and ingrained patterns that they want to now have. And so those are given to that person. In ordinary circumstances, it's done in one session, and that then the person is done. They've received their hypnosis and they are on their way. RTT is very different because in RTT, a person goes into hypnosis in the exact same way, but it is done in a much more condensed and much quicker way. So a person is taken into hypnosis in what is called an induction, and the induction and what we call the deepeners, they are also the convincers, and they are a way of convincing the brain that something is going to be changing and something is going to be happening. It makes the brain more receptive. That process is done within 10 to 15 minutes into an RTT session, much longer in a hypnosis session, in a traditional hypnotherapy session. So after a person is taken into hypnosis in an RTC session, they are then given interventions. And these interventions are what are the key to RTT. And it allows the root cause to be discovered through going back to 3 scenes in a person's childhood or in their past. And it is determined where their belief that they have, their limiting belief that is causing them to do whatever it is that they don't want to be doing. And in the case of overweight, of an overweight individual, it's eating to excess or eating foods that they don't want to be eating. You go back and you find where these beliefs about themselves originated. For any belief to be changed, we have to understand how that belief was created. And that is what this process does, is it allows you to be able to go in and understand where the belief came from. And once you understand it, then you can go about making changes to it because you reframe what the belief was that you got in your childhood. And now that you are an adult, you can reframe it and have a different viewpoint. And so after the interventions are done and the reframing is done, then the same process happens that happens in hypnotherapy. But in RTT, it's called a transformation. And what all the new suggestions that a person is given, they are given in this transformation time. But what's unique about RTT is that that is recorded, and an audio tape is created for the person who seeks changes, and they are asked to listen to this audio recording for 30 straight days, and all of their new beliefs and their new ingrained beliefs are given to them in this recording. Now, one of the things that's really important about hypnosis for anyone to understand is an individual is in complete control when they are under hypnosis. And the only way for changes to actually be made, and so a person is never brainwashed, but a way that a person is able to make those changes is if they are actually open and receptive to them. The brain doesn't change involuntarily. So a person has to be open to having those changes happen. So once that is done, the person receives their audio tape, and then they're asked to listen to that audio tape for 30 straight days, and that will ingrain the new beliefs into their subconscious. Now, how does this help with weight loss? Well, with weight loss, you want to go back and you want to find the 3 scenes in someone's childhood, because most of the time weight issues originate in a person's childhood, and they might not manifest until a person becomes an adult, but they start in a person's childhood. And you find the 3 scenes that are the root cause, and then it's determined what belief a person took on as a result of those 3 scenes that they remembered from their subconscious. And then we go about reframing those beliefs, and that those beliefs no longer work for them as an adult now, and they get to change the thoughts that they have and the beliefs that they have about the incidences that were brought up. And so that reframing is the most important part in hypnotherapy as well as in RTT. That reframing is the key to take those beliefs that they created as a child and reframe them and change them so they work for them as an adult. But what is oftentimes found is that in a person who has a tendency to overeat or emotionally eat, that there is something in their childhood that caused them to need to use food in a different way than just merely for sustenance. And so we go back and we look to find where that happened. And then in the reframing and in the transformation audio, examples of new beliefs that a person who is overweight is given is if sugar is an issue. The reframing or the transformation that they are seeking could be, the audio could be, for example, sugar is no longer of interest to you. You are disinterested in chocolate. You are interested in making healthy choices, and you make them every day. And they are spoken as if they are already happening. And so that transformation audio is really the key, because a person is given these new beliefs and these new behaviors that they are going to have. And also it is programmed into their subconscious what size they want to be, what weight they want to be, and how they want their lives to look. That is really, really powerful, and that is where the changes really can happen for a person. RTT is for anyone who is interested in looking and determining what the root cause is of their overeating or their emotional eating and why they're carrying extra weight. And so it is open and accessible to anyone, and it is so incredibly powerful. For more information about RTT, please go below into the description and you will find a link to my website, and I have a whole page dedicated to RTT and frequently asked questions. So please take a look at that and learn as much as you can about it. And if you are interested in learning more and discussing whether RTT is right for you, you can also find in the description a link to set up a discovery call with me, and we can talk about whether or not RTT is right for you. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel, Kristen Jones Coaching, where I will provide you more tips, strategies, and guidance on overcoming and dealing with your overeating and your emotional eating and creating the life that you desire. I hope I'll see you in the next video.